content too, because I know there's some businesses that we've tagged on there that they don't want any content done in their business either, so it makes it hard, but you still want to spotlight them because they're a business within the BDA.
Take a picture of the front, put the address, and yeah.
So if anybody else wants a video, just let me know after, or if you know any other businesses within the BDA that would want a video but haven't had one or just interested to see, don't hesitate to let us know, okay?
Yeah.
And then for Munchie Mondays for this upcoming one, we have Polish Fit Barbecue, Cindy's Munchies, Juliet's Empanadas, Honeybee Bubble Tea, and Knife and Hearth Wood Fired Eatery. I potentially have a DJ musician who is interested in playing. I just have to have them finalize if that's something they're able to do or not. And then do they have to fill out a permit or no, because they're not selling anything?
Who's paying them? Or what's the arrangement? They're just volunteering?
Yeah, correct.
I mean, I'm just going to throw out a hypothetical, like if Teresa just wanted to let them set up, that's fine.
I know we talked about
Yeah,
that. Yep.
I mean that they don't need permission from us. They would just, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I'll check with Sharon. My understanding is they would need to be shut down by like 7 o'clock, like whenever the event closes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Yinzer Valley Farms is going to be in Ramblin' Rose again, right?
All right, so is it all going to just be on that one street again?
I wanted to follow up. I'm glad you said that. So because I know the last one I got there early, and the one vendor showed up with the lemonade, I think,
Cindy's
and
Munchies?
yeah, she had told me that someone told her to set up in front, and then the your tenant there didn't want them blocking the door.
Well, she had originally blocked the doors.
Yeah.
That was a misunderstanding. We squared it away, though.
Okay.
So we were going to separate them. So we were going to put 3 on Mullen and then 2 down in the Key Bank lot. I already talked to the managers of Key Bank, and they were cool about that. Yep.
So that's okay. We're good.
Yep, so that's already taken care of. And then that same night, the library's having their fundraiser at Alexander's Pizza up here from 4 to 8. It's the buffet, so we'll make sure to promote that too.
Okay.
And then if there's any other specials, I know like Water's Edge Boutique and Lincoln Bonded sometimes have specials those same night, or if any of you in here have any specials that week or that night, or know of any businesses that do, let us know and we'll promote them as well. And then for possible events, I wanted to just mention a couple ideas and some feedback we've gotten from the community too, because we've been trying to get more feedback from people too and see what they really want. So after Munchie Mondays, we talked to a couple people. They said moving forward, if that's something that does happen again going into next year, they suggested it being 5 to 8 instead of 4 to 7, which I agree with, especially coming here.
I would think 4 to 8, if anything. I mean, early, because there's a lot of traffic during that time. That's whatever. Yeah.
But I mean, I definitely think going later for sure, because I'm just thinking about this one here in September. You figure kids are back in school, people are working till 5. By the time they get home, maybe if they want to change their clothes out of their work clothes, it's already almost 6 o'clock. You know what I mean? So it needs to go a little bit later, I think, for sure. And there was another request of potentially adding alcohol next year outside, and I was curious on how to do this, but Jeanette in downtown does something similar. But what they have to do is they have to get that construction gate, the
my understanding,
stuff.
because they Yinzer Valley wanted to do that over at your place during that trail day event, and it has to be confined.
Yeah, and that's who I was actually talking to, was the one girl from Yinzer's that was down at Ramblin' Rose. She was the one mentioning that the way that we can do it is if you get the orange construction gate stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? That just wraps around, and you just have somebody stand there at the edge and make sure nobody's leaving with alcohol. Realistically, she thinks that would be a better way to bring more people in, and I agree too, because if you look at the food truck event they had in downtown Jeanette, they were so busy.
If that works within our ordinance, I don't know it inside out to say yes or no. I mean I don't know it well enough off the top of my head to just give you a yes or no on that. That's just something we need to look into.
Yeah,
we could follow up with Sharon and Les on that.
Gotcha. And then just adding to that, trying to get more of the local businesses involved with that, whether they want to do sidewalk sales or just more promotions on that day. Other events we've talked about before that we have ideas for would be around Halloween time, maybe after the parade. There's a Halloween bar/pizza crawl of some sort that we could get together, kind of get more people active within the community going into the
Well, and I know that was pitched last year, but they came to you and they wanted you to buy pizza and give to people on your busiest day of the week. So, I mean, if it's thought out a little better than what was presented to them in the
you wouldn't
past,
expect the business owners to give away free pizza. It would be
well, that's what was
something
that's what was expected on top of him paying the tax and all the other stuff,
that
which
doesn't
is
make sense to me.
exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
But
it doesn't make
that's how it was presented.
Gotcha. And then maybe if we start to try to get together some type of Christmas market for all the businesses around here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is something we talked about.
I would work that into Small Business Saturday.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the way to go with that.
And then another event that we talked about too, which we talked about a couple months ago through all of this, but we had an idea for, because there's no one else around here that does anything like this, and I think it could be really good for the community and be a really popular event in the community, is around New Year's. I know we would have to get correct permissions to shut the street down and everything.
We got to remember we're dealing with PennDOT too.
I know.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking because, so if we get the correct permissions to shut down the street, why don't we drop something in front of the Doughboy for New Year's? There's no one else around here, no other towns that do it besides downtown Pittsburgh. You know how many people would want to come here to do something instead of hauling ass the whole way out to Pittsburgh? Excuse my language.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something there.
And on that topic, I actually have a DJ that wanted to volunteer and
That'd be
do
awesome.
do light up stations on the corners
That'd be awesome.
and actually have music going and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And
But
then-
it was put on a hold until we saw what was going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. And I think like we're far out enough now to where we could potentially get the correct like permissions from PennDOT and everything to shut that road down, even if it's just for a couple hours. Because you figure you can get
Right now,
permissions for the parade,
right now it's
so-
but it's 2 months out. You have to submit those requests 2 months out. So we're at September.
It's about 4 months.
You know,
3.
Yeah.
But by the time you get permissions and everything, I mean, it literally would need to be voted on next month at council.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be something where.
Yeah, no, I'm no guy. I think there's something there. I agree, but it might be rushing it for this year, but definitely in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a really good event, especially if you get those stores and the restaurants and everything to stay open. I mean,
all the
restaurants
customers I
would be packed.
mentioned it to thought it was an amazing idea.
I think it's a great
Yeah,
idea.
Yeah, just
I
go.
mean, think about it.
I love
Who
it.
in the area does it?
Nobody. But
Start
Pittsburgh.
lining up sponsors and whatnot, and
We were working
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
What if
yeah.
you didn't do it at the Doughboy? What if you did it on, like, if you couldn't shut it down, like East parking lot?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it anywhere, yeah.
Yeah, we just have to work out the
They
draw.
have like in here somewhere in Mount Pleasant, it would just be cool, because no one else does that.
I think you get a ton of people.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get everybody like Fayette and Westmoreland, it's like,
close by.
because I know I would rather come here than go down to
I'm
downtown
usually on my
Pittsburgh.
couch by that time, but, you know.
oh, last couple of years I was asleep before that ball dropped, which I'm fine with. So what else do you have there?
Just a couple more things. and then I'll
Okay.
shut up, I promise.
No, you're good. You're good. It's your, the floor is yours.
So I just
looked
wanna
like it when
kind
the
of
trucks
like
were-
re-hit on to maybe whether we do happy hours or open houses, whether it's bi-weekly or once a month, like pick a business, if they wanna do like an open house with their business, kind of feature them, invite all the other business owners, something like that. And then, other than events, we had 2 new member inquiries. I think they're within like the taxing association, I don't know, like all the logistics, like who is, who isn't, but they reached out, it was Solstice Counseling and Wellness, they're at 633 West Main Street.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, and then they have another business inside of there, it's Massage in the Mountain, their names were Julie and Tasha, I wrote down their information.
Okay.
But they reached out and they wanna be involved and get listed on here and everything, I told them I would follow up with them after this meeting, because of everything going on. And then, so ribbon cuttings, already went over the one we had for Soil and Soul last month. Upcoming, we're trying to work on one for the Pink Door Salon since she moved into her new store. And then I'm trying to get a hold of the new people who took over at Hughes Corner since it's like a new ownership. Is there anybody we're missing there that's gonna need a ribbon cutting? We didn't do one for Rambling Rose?
And I think that, I don't know if you guys, did you
Yeah, but
still want
it's
one?
too late
Still
now.
Too late?
Too late.
Okay.
What about Pritz, was Pritz Feed Mill, did you still want one?
We can.
Yeah, I'd
People,
like
people
one.
still don't know that we own
I
it.
don't know.
JT, would you like a ribbon cutting, sir? Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Anybody who hasn't had one, I mean, we just wanna get everybody involved. Anybody who hasn't had one.
American Little Masters also.
Ken, I have to take this real quick.
Yeah, by all
I
means.
apologize.
Yeah, by all means.
Good knowing that.
All right. So anything else?
And then just some general feedback of things we've gotten. Just quite a few businesses have mentioned, you know, promoting more of the businesses on the other side of the Doughboy, like down towards this way, more in
Yep.
town, more events this way. People are asking why the parades and like decor for the holidays always have to stop like right at the Doughboy. Why don't they come down further?
Some of them do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's spotty because you go commercial, residential, commercial. So, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Gotcha. And then more advertising for events, which I agree with. And then one question we got from quite a few people is, and this is something like I know this isn't technically like mine, but it just says.
You have to speak up. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing. No, you're good.
You're good. So we just had a couple people ask, and I know this isn't like my like sector or whatever, but they were just saying, so if everything goes through and we do switch to like an association instead of an authority, how is it going to be fair to the people who aren't paying into it but are still benefiting from it? Does that make sense?
Well, it's one of the reasons we voted to dissolve, because there were, like the Harmon House, for example, was paying $6,000 a year in taxes to the BDA, and nothing's ever been done for the Harmon House.
Okay.
So, so that's within an association. And by the way, that's separate. It's not that It's not that the authority reorganizes. The authority and the tax goes away at the same time. And there are some people that I've had conversations with that are interested in starting up the association.
Okay. Yeah. No, it was just feedback. People
So
were
yeah,
saying, so.
the biggest thing is with that is and that's where we're at. There's a lot of property owners that are that have complained. Not all, but a high majority, that we're paying this tax and we're getting no representation. And right now, if you have anything more you want to report, I can segue this in. And so that being said, now, because I'm kind of jumping around here because we could discuss this on old business. And I just threw one out there, like the Harmon House, paying $6,000 a year to this association with no representation. I've spoke with business up the road. He almost did a cartwheel right in front of me when I told him that we voted to dissolve, because he just bought some land around him, and he keeps getting taxed, and he gets gets nothing to show for it, no representation. So actually, he was going to come to a council meeting and complain until he heard that we voted to dissolve. So, or at least move forward with that. So, so the association brings in, if everyone pays on time, $42,000 a year, and by the time you were paid $25,000, the previous person was paid $30,000. By the time a lot of this stuff's paid out, this thing is it will be in the red before, not too long. You see the numbers; they're just not there. And look, there's a lot of liens on. There's about 30 businesses right now in this town that have liens on them. And so a lot of them don't know that they have liens on them because the previous board sent out liens with, without sending out certified notices with those liens, which is, it's lousy. Like they could take that to court, but regardless, you still have to pay. If there are liens on your property, you still have to pay it. So in that situation, unfortunately, but
So have you all notified these people?
yeah, most of them are aware, the ones that can be tracked down. So, but that aside, and public comment will be reserved for the end. Sorry, that's all right. Just so we're all on the same page. But like I said, as far as Johnny, you can speak for a lot of this. You're on the board. You've had your problems.
Yeah, as far as getting a notice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't receive
Yeah.
one. Right.
And you know what? And these
I
people.
know Debbie Nutter said she didn't get
Fair
one
enough.
either.
Yeah, Debbie Nutter found. She went to sell her property, and she almost did not get her property sold because there was liens tacked on her property from the BDA that she was never informed about. It almost cost the Tuscan Grill coming to town. And I'll tell you some other things too, as far as BDA. Like, I've had multiple conversations trying to attract some business to town. 2 national brands. I don't want to put their names out there because even though they're national names, they're franchise owners, which are independent. And both of them came back to me. They said, "Hey, Ken, we looked at the one property. We were going to buy it. There's liens on it that your BDA put on there. The property owner knows nothing about it." And then from there, they also said, "By the way, we called, we let home office know what was going on, and our home office said, stay out of towns that have authorities because they're bad for business." They are, and that's just, and to give you one example. So, D, I don't want to put your business out there, but it's public knowledge. You pay about $1,000 a year in tax for the BDA.
Just one of them.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so it's recommended in towns where there's authorities that and if you go look in your insurance agreement, it might even be in there, that if you have an authority, it's recommended that you pay a solicitor, a lawyer, to review all BDA minutes as well as all council minutes. And that's another $2,500 to $5,000 a year in legal fees. For what? And now within an association, which I was up at PSAB in Hershey, I believe it was this past year, the year before, I was sitting in one of these, sessions, and I believe it was Export, Elport, one of these towns. They were talking about how they got a grant for $72,000 for their association. Now, when you're an authority, you can't get grants. Associations can. All right. So now that's $72,000. If everyone pays the most, the BDA rate now, if everyone pays in, will collect $42,000 a year. That 36 that they got on that, 72, that's almost 2 years of tax money without having to chase people down, put liens on their property, and put a hurting on them. Because it brings down not just their property value, but it brings down the value of the properties around them when there's liens on, Johnny, if there was liens on every property on this street except for yours, that ain't good for your business. So, I don't know, as far as the board, was there any other feedback or questions as far as that you've received on of how we voted to move forward with dissolving? I've got nothing but positive feedback.
Yeah, positive.
Yeah.
Everything's positive.
Yeah.
I've heard people say they're for the BDA, so I hear it both ways.
Yeah.
And I think there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I didn't think we voted to dissolve. I thought we voted to get information.
Well, and that's it. Well, we'll vote here to request. We could do it again, but either way. So I'll put that motion. Johnny, do you want to put that motion out there? That's all right. We'll vote. We'll vote for it again. Yeah.
It's gonna go the same way.
Okay. So it's just. But we can, even though we voted to dissolve. What I said was we could get to the end of it and then vote to not. We can go back on that if we decide it's not in the best interest of the town and the authority to dissolve. All the conversations I've had have been that it's best to move forward with dissolving.
The only difference would be between the association and authority. You're basically going to have the same guidelines and everything, except you don't have that tax to be paid.
The biggest thing, and you know what, actually, with an association, you're a volunteer. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be a part of it if you don't want to be.
Right.
Yeah, and with an authority, you're forced to pay that tax.
Right.
And look, like Johnny, 5 years and you couldn't get stickers that you paid for? Yeah,
When
Yeah.
you're playing,
yeah.
They were selectively,
Yeah, and that's fine, but that's,
I was told they couldn't bring one
Yeah.
down because
the hours
Yeah,
were
yeah,
open. Yeah.
but they
we don't
can,
open till 4 o'clock.
but they held events in
But
the
they
evening.
had food
Thank
truck
you,
events
yeah,
till 8,
yeah.
7:30, 8 o'clock.
And something I would like to address, I've already talked to 2 different groups and also multiple, Stuck Up Graphics. She's already lining up everything to keep the breast cancer walk going again next year. That will be back next year. I talked to Val this morning. She's open to helping us out any way she can. So like events like that and the association, once that's in place, which by the way, like that would be all separate. Like they can come to council and request, hey, we want to do this on these streets these days to have these food truck events. And honestly, like this, from what I've seen this year, it went a lot better than last year because learn from the mistakes. Like I said last year when they first came up with this, is like you can't just put trucks on Main Street, especially without their permission. And not what I mean by their permission, PennDOT's permission. But I think it's working pretty good from what I've seen in front of Rambling Rose and then along the sidewalk. I saw good crowds, but that'll be up to whoever would form an association if they wanted to go forward with that. But all right, so we did vote to dissolve, and we just need to get Tim to line up all the proper methods, and then as we go through the process, if that's something, because it's business as usual until the authority dissolves, which is why we, because I know I had someone reach out to me, a middle person that said, "Hey, Soil and Soul was told they can't get a ribbon cutting," and I was like, "No, they can." And why that was selected before? Because honestly, most of this board is new, and for whatever reason, it was selected before on who got ribbon cuttings and who didn't. We'll do a ribbon cutting for everybody, like you said, 2 years. We'll give you one. I mean, we already did one for you. I was at that one. But look, I mean, whoever. I mean, that's where. If you want another one over there, I know you've been. If you want like an anniversary or something, we'll come down and do something. Yeah. Well, the offer's on the table. You know, we're not picking and choosing. We're trying to be. You know, well, yeah. So.
But I think the association something needs to be in place
But
as you start to dissolve this.
Yeah, and there are some people that are ready to. We'll say public comment for the NJT. Sorry.
That was a quick question. Before the board dissolves, what's the chances of all these businesses that you guys put liens on? What's the chances of rescinding that?
Fair enough. I'll explain that because that is actually part of my. So and I'll just pull that up here. So all liens would be forwarded to the borough, the council. All right. So that being said, hypothetically, let's say Joe Schmo's tab has 3 liens against them, $200 a piece. Those get forwarded to the borough. Liens don't go away unless they can't just be forgiven. There has to be an exchange of money or like in Debbie Nutter's case, like she found out when she went to sell her property, hey, you can't sell it till these liens are dissolved. So, but what happens is a lot of times in these situations, from what I read, hypothetically, let's say, like I said, Joe Schmo's tab, let's say he had $600 in liens, that could be negotiated between the council and that person, whether it's cut in half or whatever. So, but if you're the property owner, you want to resolve those liens, because at the end of the day, it can affect your credit score.
I don't think there should be an agreement on what they should pay. I think if
Well, and
your
that's-
bill is $3,000, it's $3,000. When I had to pay my tax, I wasn't negotiating what I had to pay.
Well, I'm just.
But
But that's why a lot of times they don't get negotiated, because, like I said, Joe Schmo's tab, let's say they owe $600, they can't sell that property until they pay that $600.
a lot of the times I need a yes or no.
No, I get
A
that.
definitive answer.
But yeah, that's also, it's just.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's not fair to people.
I'm not disagreeing with
Yeah.
that. I mean, like, my bills are all paid, so.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we just need to follow up with Tim and just go forward. And then look, honestly, Pam, if you're against dissolving, we can get it on the agenda at some point to vote against dissolving it. It would need a second and then majority of the vote.
I'm just saying that when we voted,
Yes.
I did not believe we were voting to dissolve. I thought
We're voting to move forward. That's fine. Well, I mean, it's on here to. I mean, we could do this again. I have to. If someone wants to make that motion, Johnny, you want to read it? It's back of the second page here.
But it still says.
I mean, but yeah, we voted 5-1 on it, but that's what we voted on. But I mean, the next meeting, if someone wants to put it on there, but anyway.
Haven't the attorneys already put
Yes,
their
yeah,
things in
Tim's
motion?
already moved forward, so.
Why do we vote on it?
Yeah, and that's what we need to just, but.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that Tim moved forward on it.
Well, you
I'm
got
vice president,
time out. You got the email. I forwarded you the email.
Yes, but it doesn't say in there that he started things.
Well, he gathered the information. He didn't like sign anything or send anything off to anybody. He
Started the process.
Thank you. He just gathered the information, which is what we requested, and that's what was in those emails. I think I sent you the one and then I screenshot the other thing because I was having a problem
Yes,
with.
You did.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not denying.
No, that's all right. I just want context. I just want everything out there so we're all on the same page. That's all.
Okay.
But I don't know. Is there any more discussion on that or? Okay, so there. Okay.
I just had a question. So, if you have businesses that aren't familiar with the BDA, we've
Yep.
went over that, right?
Yep.
So going forward for an association,
The association would reach out to all of them. Yeah.
And like, cause you were talking about, you had some people that were
Yep,
interested.
and
in
then
it.
I'll put you in contact with them
Okay,
if you're
that-
interested.
Yes,
Yep.
please, thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
I think that's another problem too, is that nobody knows who these people are.
Well, nobody knows the BDA either. I mean, honestly, I mean, I've gotten calls for years, and Carol Yankowski has been harassed for years on the topic of, this. So,
I think it's just more the communication. It's
well,
nobody's.
and it's a lot better, I assure
It
you.
sure is, but it's not the current
Well,
board's
Tim even
at
gets
all.
calls.
Yeah.
People want to know what they're paying for when
Yeah.
they're not
Thank
getting
you.
anything. Tim said that in the council minutes,
Yeah,
borough council minutes.
thank
He
you.
gets calls.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not,
What am I getting out
I'm
of
not
this?
trying to be argumentative, I'm just
Yeah.
It's all right. I
trying
mean,
to
we're
play
good.
devil's advocate.
Yeah,
That's fine.
exactly. But I think going forward, you need to make it that all businesses are aware of, hey, we're going to an association or looking
Well,
to
hold
go
on.
to an association.
So no, so that's two separate things. And
Okay.
if it once the authority, the association would be something completely different.
I
And
understand
honestly,
that.
this should be done under public comment at the end. But
So, okay, can I pause on that?
yep.
I have a question. Again, maybe playing devil's advocate. So you say public comment, but
Okay.
I pay into the BDA. So how am I public?
I'm trying to run this like a meeting. Like, this is an authority meeting.
We had this conversation before, okay? So as a business owner, when you say public comment, though, like that makes me feel like I'm not welcome here.
It's
Like,
not it. No,
I pay my
this-
taxes,
no.
but I'm not welcome to say
Okay,
anything.
so this is, we're having a meeting.
I understand that, but is it
Okay.
any business? Aren't they a part of the BDA? Allowed to be at the meeting?
No, you're allowed to be at the meeting.
You have to be like sworn in.
Yeah, like it has to be
So-
and that's fine. I'm trying to be respectful.
And I understand that, but I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. Is like we've paid for it, and we're trying to revamp it. Whether it goes away, it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
But when you say like public, like we're not public. We pay into this
Okay, so
this authority.
Okay, so an authority, and I'll explain this real quick. So the authority is nine-member board that's appointed by council, and then we have the meeting, and it's just no different than a council meeting. There's public comment at the beginning of the meeting, and so there's public comment at the beginning of the meeting. Then we have the meeting, and then at the end of the meeting, there's public comment to follow up on anything that was addressed during the meeting. No different than the township supervisors.
Okay,
No
but
different than any other.
but
authority.
everybody in the BDA didn't vote for you guys.
The council did.
Council does, not the members, just the council.
Okay, I'm not trying to be different.
No,
but
that's
I'm
all right. I
just-
mean,
I'm just trying to like.
I'll educate you on this, but I mean, if you want, but I'm just, but that's like, so the authority was appointed. The members were appointed by council.
I'm just trying to make you understand how
I see where you're coming from.
not welcoming it.
No, it's
feels
not that
like-
you're welcome, but it's just.
But sit in the corner and don't say anything.
No, you're welcome. We're trying to have a meeting, and we're trying to conduct business.
Then
And then at the
I don't
end,
see. I don't think you're seeing the big picture of it.
no, I see your point. I'm sorry. What's that?
So you're just trying to keep an order of.
Thank you. I'm just trying to keep order for the meeting. Like this is.
Council represents all residents of the borough, but they get their public comment at the end rather than
What we're doing now.
It keeps less
Yeah.
chaos.
Yes,
just to keep it smooth.
thank you. And look, and we'll give you that. We'll give you the
I
floor.
see your point though.
No, I mean, but that's.
He's just trying to keep it organized.
I
Thank you.
understand that, but when you make somebody feel unwelcome, like
Well, that's not the goal here. That was not the intent. But the intent was to keep authority.
Structure of.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. So, is there any other discussion on the dissolving of the authority?
for public comment or for you.
We'll save that at the end. There would be public comment at the end. All right, so there's also the issue of flower pots on here. So those are, the street department had the flower pots. So what will happen with those is if once the authority goes through with dissolving, those flower pots will be first come, first served to the businesses that have paid into the authority. So, and once we get to that point, we'll communicate that to everybody so that.
There was there was like a community or something that they got together and they did the flower pots. I don't know if we actually owned them or if it was theirs.
It's a little bit, that hasn't been properly communicated to me, to be honest with you, and that's a good question. Thank you for asking that. So that's actually, my understanding is, some of them were there was a co-op on buying those and getting those. So, but regardless, they're property of the BDA.
Yeah.
So if the BDA would go away, like I said, it'd be first dibs to,
Yeah.
the property owners or business/property owners. Like if you wanted one in front of your place, Dave, Johnny, vice versa. So is there any other comment as far as the flower pots there? All right, and I discussed the breast cancers. Like I said, I know Stuck Up Graphics, Val, and a few others. There's a plan to get that will be up and running next year. So any new business that needs discussed? Okay, so we're going to open floor comments. Anyone wants you have 1 minute to touch on anything we discussed during the meeting. Go ahead, state your name and
Diane Bailey, Mount
Yep.
Pleasant Mayor. I have a question on the association timeline. Do you have
Well,
any
see,
idea
as-
how long it'll take to get that up and running after the?
as an authority, that's up to whoever's going to be part of that association. So you would that would I mean, look, you could have 5 associations for them if you guys want. That's entirely up to all the different individuals and whoever's going to be.
So once the authority is dissolved, then the association members or people who are interested in an association can get together.
They could go
and
do that now if they want.
Form it.
Yeah, I mean,
if
you
they
can go.
want to.
I mean, honestly, Teresa, if you want to form an association, by all means. I'm just sorry. You're right in front of me. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, this is still the mayor's time, so you have 30 seconds if there's
Okay,
anything
and
else.
So do those associations, are there dues attached to associations?
That's up to the association. Most likely, yes, but that would be up to whoever's running it.
Okay.
And so,
And you said 5K for next year. Do you mean next October?
yes,
or-
next October 2026.
Okay, thank you for that one. And I have a question about the meeting night. I thought the bylaws said that.
We voted at
meetings-
the last meeting to move it to this tonight.
Will you change your bylaws and give the council a new?
We
copy of
no, hold
bylaws?
on. We just voted for this meeting.
Just for this meeting?
Yeah, so that's
It's on a month-by-month basis?
it was availability issue because you know what? Well, we run into Labor Day.
I'm just trying to get
But,
my calendar. That's all.
but I'll address this. So, and this was a problem because we need a quorum. This authority operated illegally for many years.
I'm not going there.
What? No, I am because you brought it up. So we're going to go there.
yeah, because
so
I'm
no,
asking so I can
and I'm
get my
answering.
calendar in order.
Okay, so but to answer your question, the reason we have to occasionally move some days around is because so we could have a quorum.
So
we
it's a
no,
month-by-month
no,
thing for right now?
we will update the site. We have 20, no different than council.
Right.
So, which is, once again, unlike the previous board authority was not operating that way. They were just making up stuff and they were running meetings with 3 people when they were supposed to have 6.
Okay,
They didn't have.
should watch the website.
They actually
know
should,
when-
yes.
That's all I need
No
to
different
know.
than council or townships or any city councils,
That
whatever.
was my question.
All right, so,
associations-
well, hold on, your time's up. That's a minute.
Okay.
So is there any other public comment? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm just like freaking out here.
All right.
I have been in this town since 1978. I've sat on every single board. I've been at every single meeting. And I think you're choosing to eliminate the business district authority because of bad management within the authority. Back in the day when I was vice president, interim manager, we had meetings, we had regulations. After Ron Alden left, things kind of fell apart. There was no leadership. And I think that you're making a decision to eliminate an association because of
Authority.
absolute awful internal management. And I would really encourage you to think about going to an association. Mount Pleasant had a Mount Pleasant Business Association back in the day. And they fought constantly because there was no money. You had to pay your own way.
So you're at a minute, sorry. But I'll address your comment. So, look, because sorry, there's multiple things there. but honestly, you said about the internal mismanagement, but that's why a lot of the businesses are frustrated. And the money just ain't there. I mean, even if everyone pays on time, you bring in $42,000. That's, I mean, by the time you pay rent and you pay someone to work for you, you're in the red. The money, so, and now.
I'm not disputing any of that. I'm just saying, back in the day, we had those same issues. We had the same $42,000 income
Yeah.
back 20 years.
Well, we're paying them 25.
Well,
And then also by the time you pay rent, like I said, you're in the red quick. So,
well, I understand that.
yeah.
I'm just saying that, I mean, communications are awful. I'm on the lower end of town now.
Yes.
You know, I had the end zone, I had
Yeah.
Marie's Place, I had, you know, all those things uptown. We had things happening all the time up there. There was never anything down here. No, I'm down here, okay, still, there's still nothing going on.